Alrighty.
Atlantic weakening steadily, but still a factor, at least for shipping at this hour, as it races on to the east at about 23 miles per hour. The update still maintaining minimal hurricane status, 75 mile per hour sustained winds at 39 degrees north and 41.2 west, 670 miles west of the Azores. And again, Alberto moving quickly to the east at 23 miles per hour, and it may be interacting with a baroclinic or frontal zone, I should say, that may mean Alberto becomes extra tropical in the next 24 hours. The pressure, by the way, 988 millibars and rising. Off the west coast of Africa, there's a tropical wave, which could show signs of development as it tracks west towards warmer water. Right now, the islands, leewards and the windwards, and through this region, the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, you're in fine shape today. No worries from tropical weather conditions. A few thunder showers in the afternoon, early morning and afternoon, but no tropical developments, and it's looking good in the Caribbean Sea at this hour. But check the flare-up of thunderstorms here in the southwest Gulf of Mexico. This potentially signs of intensification with tropical depression number 5, which formed yesterday. It's at 23.2 north and 94 degrees west as of 4 o'clock Central Daylight Time on this Monday morning. That puts the center of circulation about 290 miles southeast of Brownsville, Texas. Top sustained winds 35 miles per hour. Again, just a little bit below tropical storm strength. The movement now off to the northwest at 6. Remember, it was stationary up until this update. The pressure 1,007 millibars. The bottom line with this system, you folks in Texas, along the coast, and in northeast Mexico should monitor the situation closely, because the official forecast takes the system off to the northwest and strengthens it at least into a tropical storm during the next 12 to 18 hours, and possibly could make landfall in this region sometime Tuesday night or early Wednesday. It definitely bears close watching. Now in the Pacific, here's Tropical Storm Ileana at 18.6 north, 106 west. Just off the Mexican coastline, moving northwest at 10 and strengthening, while Hurricane Hector is maintaining minimal hurricane strength now, 75 mile per hour winds, moving west at 6 towards cooler water. Expect some decrease in intensity, while Ileana strengthens as it moves into warmer water conditions and favorable upper level conditions, upper level high pressure for strengthening. Well, that's it for the tropics. Pretty active day. What about over the lower 48? Well, same can be said across parts of North Dakota, where there's been some severe thunderstorm activity this morning, thunder showers across parts of Kansas, and we still have low pressure spinning along the east coast with thunder showers right around the Chesapeake Bay and the Delmarva Peninsula at this hour, and a steady rain continuing over Maine, New Hampshire, and parts of Massachusetts. Look for another wet, breezy, cool day in the northeast with pockets of heavy rain likely. There's some fog around Pittsburgh, also down to Charleston, West Virginia, and near Columbus, Georgia. By the way, it's unusually cool in the southeast this morning, with Noonan, Georgia, just outside Atlanta, southwest side of the city, 55 degrees. It's also a pleasant start to the day in the Great Lakes, but through the northern plains, severe thunderstorms are possible. We've had a cluster of severe storms move through the Dakotas. That severe threat moves into Minnesota and northwest Wisconsin later today. Detroit has a great day, though. While look for rain and clouds and cool weather in New York City in the low 70s. About 89 in Atlanta, a 103 in Dallas, 91 in New Orleans, a comfortable 74 in San Francisco, and 70 degrees in Seattle. Well, now let's check the long-range forecast, which is the weekend outlook. Cheryl?
And looking ahead for the upcoming weekend, we'll continue the warm weather spell across most of the deep south and across the plain states and the southwest. But at least some of you will finally see a break from all the hot, scorching weather. At least the Pacific Northwest enjoying some 60s and 70s this weekend, and still very comfortable readings too for the Great Lakes and across New England, where again highs may be struggling just to climb out of the 70s. So a big contrast in temperatures across the country for the upcoming weekend. High pressure nosing in around the Ohio Valley will make for some fair skies here. But showers and thunderstorms cannot be ruled out for the Gulf coastal region, and perhaps another batch of showers moving in through Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas this upcoming weekend. So for those thirsty
3 degrees with light rain. Your forecast. On Wednesday, we'll see a chance of thunderstorms. Look for fair skies on Thursday. And on Friday, expect a chance of thunderstorms.
Welcome back to Storm Watch. We do have our second named storm for the Atlantic season so far, and we do have hurricane watches and warnings that are currently out. Let's go ahead and show you the specifics on Tropical Storm Beryl. This was issued as of 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time, and right now Tropical Storm Beryl is 190 miles to the south-southeast of Brownsville, Texas. Winds sustained at 50 miles an hour. It's currently moving towards the northwest, not very quickly, only at 6. And estimated pressure is currently at 29.80 inches or 1,009 millibars. Here's the latest look at Beryl. You can see the convection fairly intense with it. One thing what happened this morning is that the water temperatures here are so warm, unusually warm, in the middle 80s, that's the possible reason why it strengthened so quickly, almost just in a blink of an eye. The storm has been upgraded to a tropical storm. Now we do have hurricane warnings that are in effect. It does include part of the U.S. It doesn't affect parts of southern Texas from Baffin Bay, Texas, down to La Pesca, Mexico. And we also have tropical storm warnings that are in effect from La Pesca, Mexico, southward towards Tampico, Mexico. Right now, though, take you to a radar picture just offshore of Texas. We're seeing some showers here. Now, offshore of Brownsville, we do expect to see the shower and thunderstorm activity continue to intensify later on today as Beryl will be moving off towards the west-northwest. Take you out further into the Atlantic. What happened to Alberto? Well, it was downgraded as of 10 a.m. to a tropical storm. Right now it's 610 miles to the west of the Azores. Winds at 70 miles an hour, moving pretty rapidly to the east at 21 miles an hour. Here's the latest look of what is left of Alberto, and it's continuing to fall apart. I want to show you also that we do have another wave here that is moving off of Africa, and we'll continue to monitor this particular wave. It right now is not forecasted to strengthen or decrease. We'll just have to continue to monitor it. We also have another tropical wave, and this one here is in fairly unfavorable locations for any development to occur. At the far edge of your screen, that is where Tropical Storm Beryl is. Show you this tropical wave, though, offshore of Africa. You can see it is west of the Cape Verde Islands. And like I said, right now it's not forecasted to do anything. It's just going to continue to chug along. Now, in the Pacific, Tropical Storm Ileana, this one could cause some problems here for the Baja of California. In fact, it is forecasted to strengthen. Right now, winds sustained at 50 miles an hour, moving to the northwest at 9 miles an hour with an estimated pressure of 29.53 inches. It is continuing to move towards the northwest. It's expected to stay on this track within the next 24 hours, and like I said, it could strengthen to possibly a hurricane within the next 24 hours. So we do have hurricane watches in effect from La Paz, Mexico to Todos Los Santos, and we have tropical storm warnings in effect for the same region. Now, Hurricane Hector, what's expected with this one? It's not expected to strengthen. That's some good news, but it's right now winds 75 miles an hour. It's moving towards the west-northwest at 8. Estimated pressure is currently at 29.15. Here's a look at both. Here's Ileana right here, and Ileana did cause some major problems around Acapulco, causing flooding and also some mudslides, and that could be the potential here as it heads towards La Paz and the Baja of California. So if you know anybody or if you yourself are headed on vacation in that direction, watch out for Tropical Storm Ileana. And out here is Hector. Across the lower 48, problems in the upper Midwest, and in fact we do have severe thunderstorm warnings currently in northern Minnesota. We'll be right back.
Can your radio do this? one radio can give you stereo sound this big, yet is small enough to fit almost anywhere. The extraordinary Wave Radio from Bose. Press the remote control and hear big, rich sound that fills the room. Sound so rich, Popular Science called it a sonic marvel. You hear music the way it was meant to be heard. Clear, full, incredibly lifelike. You've got to hear the Wave Radio to believe it. And now you can. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Your forecast. On Wednesday, we'll see a chance of thunderstorms. Look for fair skies on Thursday. And on Friday, expect a chance of thunderstorms.
Welcome to Storm Watch, sponsored by American Power Conversion. I'm Nick Walker. We want to check in with our hurricane expert right now because we have a very active tropical system that is moving toward the Mexican shoreline and will affect southern Texas. Here's Dr. Steve Lyons with an update.
Thanks, Nick. And we have Tropical Storm Beryl bearing down on North Mexico, but the impact is going to be felt in rain up into central Texas. So we'll monitor that very carefully. We also have quite a few other things out there. We've got our Tropical Storm Alberto way off in the North Atlantic, a tropical low off the African coast with another tropical wave coming off the coast right now. We have two tropical cyclones in the eastern Pacific, but let's focus in on the Gulf of Mexico right now. And here's the latest radar image out of Brownsville, and you can see the circulation center from our tropical storm is right here. It looks like it's continuing to move pretty much west to west-northwest. Looks like the landfall spot's going to be somewhere in central northern Mexico. But the thing to keep in mind is this is a very broad, ill-organized system, and the exact center is not all that important because we're sweeping some very large batches of rain through Brownsville and even farther than the north up toward Corpus Christi over the next 12 to 24 hours. Now, we do have the latest information from the Hurricane Center. Here it is, 50 miles per hour for the wind speeds. That's really typically not enough to do significant damage to structures unless you're in one that's very, very poorly constructed or a mobile home. And even with mobile homes, 50 is not too bad, although it could do damage to plants and vegetation and citrus. West-northwest at 8 miles per hour, pressure 1,009 millibars. We do have hurricane warnings up from Baffin Bay south to La Pesca, Mexico. That's with the anticipation that this could become a hurricane, although right now it's running out of room, and the forecast by the Hurricane Center is not to become a hurricane, at least at 5 p.m. So more like tropical storm force winds may be up to Brownsville, but not much else. Right now we have tropical storm warnings down to Tampico, Mexico as well, but right now the winds are fairly light along